get it.
Yo,
Hey,
good morning, family. Welcome to 2022. Yes, Real Talk with Carl and Charlene. We is doing it now. We in our new studios. We is moved over to our new studios. We upgrading. You know I got to talk, right? It's the new
always
year, and I
talking
cannot.
smack. We ain't even done yet. Like you always talking
We
smack.
got mad stuff for you guys this year. We
Uh,
just excited to be here. We just trying to do it up. We thank everybody. I just want to start off the show first of all. Just thanking everybody who participated, who came on, who dropped gems, dropped knowledge, especially 2021. But we in new year, guys. Give it up for a happy new year 2022. We
Happy
in the
New
move, and we
Year. Are you
gonna be
freezing on
talking
me?
to tensions, huh?
I'm like, are you freezing on me, bruh?
Am I free? I can't. Oh, you got me kidding me. We can't be free. New Year, same ghost, right?
Same ghost, bruh, bruh, bruh. I dropped some ideas for you. I hope you follow what I asked you to follow. And Carl's freezing on me again.
Yeah,
But yes, New Year,
go.
same New Jersey technology. Lord have mercy. So
But look, we gonna get this started. And am I
yes,
live or is this Memorex?
it looks like
Okay.
Memorex.
But anyway, yeah. Anyway, we talking today. Look at that, freezing up, man. I can't understand it. I
I'm
can't
I'm gonna
understand it.
tell you to switch to your phone hotspot. That's what I'm gonna tell you to do real quick.
Oh wow, no, I might it might blow me out then. It might blow me out then. It might blow me out. But anyway,
But you
let's get
come
this
back in.
show on the road.
Okay.
Let's get this.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
we talking about ways of being intentionally successful in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
of course, I got my protege, my co-host, and we hosting this thing together. We host together. I'm gonna drop the word co-host this year. We hosting together. We doing this thing together, and we moving forward with the real talk. And we talking about being intentionally successful in 2022. Everybody's been having these intention shows, and what's setting good intentions and
Yep.
trying to be this, see what we're going to follow through. And I have never been a proponent of New Year's resolutions. Never have, never will
Mm-hmm.
be. Because I think that you just find things that you're flawed in, and you just move better and create your spaces in those things so you can be better. And that's a resolution right there. I don't have to make that every year. That should be an ongoing process. So this is what we're talking about for 2022. We just want you to be intentionally about the things you need to do to be successful in 2022.
Exactly. And it's with when you say an intention, right? A lot of times people are like, "Oh, I really want to. I would love to." I say start removing certain vocabs out of your life, right? Certain words, just take them right out. Take
Yeah,
out the trying. And I catch myself doing it too. Take out, I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to make moves and just make moves. Just
yeah,
get it done. Remove the trying part because a lot of times that's almost like giving you a leeway for failure. That's or a leeway to not do it, not accomplish it, not get it done. And
yeah,
I think that's where a lot of people stall. Because when you and I were talking last year, it must have been like late November. I was just like, you know what? My projects are wrapping up. I'm pretty much done with client work. Let me focus on me now. And let me stop saying, oh, I'm going to get to this. I'm trying to get to that. No, let me just get to it. Let me get it done. And I revamped my entire website with maybe a few things because that's just how I am. I want to get certain other things done. But the bulk of my site is done. And I did that in 2 weeks and I already knew what I needed it to look like, and I just had to map out the experience that I wanted people to have. So for
yeah,
me to do my site that's been around since 2014, I've been through maybe 7 iterations of it, This was a major overhaul for me. And this is something that to show a lot of the ideas that I've talked about, a lot that I already know and do, that I started to make sure that people saw it demonstrated on my site. And I've said it to you before. My site's usually the testing ground. No more. No more. It's going to be the example of these are things that you can also have. So I removed the trying, I removed the let me get to it one day, and I made that a possibility and I made it happen. So I accomplished something that wasn't technically even on my radar in
Mhm.
2021. And by 2022, it's done. So it's all about making sure when you're doing something intentional and you're setting these purposes for yourself and your business, that you go after it. Removes a lot of these low key um, vocabs out of your life,
Yeah.
out of your way.
Yeah, and you made that point. Well, that's why I'm glad that we added that intentionally, because a lot of times we have these plans, right? And
Hmm.
in plans, if they're not intentionally executed, they don't become what they need to become. And a lot of
That.
times we have those plans in the essence of entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or whatever our calling is, but we don't intentionally set those things in action and intentionally go after them. And I like that you use that term, go after, because it's just that. I found myself this year, yes, of course, being busy, launching a business, being a law student, being in school, working, like, yeah, everybody does that, right? Maybe not all at the same time, but I found myself to be in a hamster wheel, so to like just really rotating my wheels on different things in the course of time passing and being busy. But
Hmm.
I didn't intentionally set out to be doing that for 2021, right? I had this plan in mind of where I wanted to be by the end of 2021, and it wasn't there. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm still, because those things are in mind, and now I'm intentionally focused on 2022. And what did I leave in 2021? I think that's really what I want our guests to realize and to understand. What was it that
Hmm.
you left on the table in 2021 that you really wanted to accomplish, and you wasn't mindful to, or you didn't pick up and run after it, like so many other things we do? I think me and Charlene was having a talk, and this is it was a year of us being visible, us being seen, and us being known, and us putting
Hmm.
ourselves out there so people could say, oh, I know them, I know what they do, I'm curating with them, I'm curious about what they do. And we turned that to, this is the year, okay, this is what we're doing, you know who we are, let's get on board. If you're working with us, if you're not, if you're collabing with us or you're not, I mean, whatever the circumstances may be. But now we're at a point where we've moved past the vision, and now we have to
Hmm.
start, carrying on the purpose. And this is what real talk is about. So we're talking about
Fact. Fact.
intentionally being successful. What are you
So
intentionally being?
let's show them the first one, that because we
Yes,
talked a little bit about it. Identifying
yes.
the desire of your business. What's the purpose? We were talking about this last year too. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
have a purpose, if you don't understand your purpose, how can you really be intentional about the moves you make for your business, even for your personal life? Because real talk is not just a business show. We talk about personal too. So how can
Mm-hmm.
you be intentional in your business and in your personal if you don't understand what's the purpose? What's the ultimate desire that you want to get out of everything that you make, everything that you do, every connection that you have? If you don't have an intention for those connections, then they become a waste of time for you and the other person that you're trying to build with, or you say you're trying to build with, but you're not really making moves to do that. And it's not a one-way street. And we're going to talk a little bit more about community. Like when you're building these communities, you're building these networks, especially on LinkedIn. All of us, for the most part, are here for business, to get a job, to improve ourselves in one way or another through skill sets or whatever that may look like for you. But if you're not really being intentional about the people that you're starting to bring into your world, then what's the point of even reaching out to people and connecting? So with Carl and Gabe, and I see a lot of y'all in here, Garen, David,
Appreciate y'all.
Shannon, Lavina, thank y'all so much for coming through. But this is part of like what community looks like, being there for others and not just always looking for, oh, how can y'all support me? And then you not showing up for them, right? So all of 2021, like you said, Carl, we were being visible, but we were also being there for other people. So it wasn't just about, oh, come see us, come support us, and then we ghost, right? Because that was something else that a lot of people have been doing. They've been
Yeah.
ghosting, they're not really there. But then a part of that, I think, is a mindset. You don't even understand what your purpose is.
Mhm.
Even if you have a business, yeah, you have a business, you doing things, you want to make money, but what's the ultimate purpose? Why do you get up in the morning and tell people every day that this is your business? Why do you get up in the morning and make phone calls or send out emails? What is the ultimate desire that you want for yourself, your life, that you're going to say to yourself, yeah, I'm glad I woke up to do this. I'm glad every time I go to bed at night, I can rest my mind saying, oh, I did a lot today. I did a lot this week. I did a lot this year. And then come in the next day and say, we got more things to do. Now, when I'm networking with Carl, I can say, Carl, here's my community. This is what they need. Because I asked them, I talked to them, I work with them, I know how they think and react. And you're the perfect person to be with this network. You're the perfect person to be with this community. A lot of times you got people promising you connections to their people. They don't even know they people. They don't even know the people in their communities, but they're like, oh, let's collaborate, let's do this and that. And then when you go and they got you all excited, but they don't have nothing to prove. They don't have no numbers, no backups, nothing to say, yes, this is what my community is always looking for. This is the questions that they always asking me. You're the perfect person to answer that.
Yeah, because that was I was laughing because it was funny that that's a lot of what took place with me in 2021. Right, I had a lot of people saying, um, yeah, when I talked to them, I was like, "But what is your purpose? What really is it that you desire for your business? What is it
Mm-hmm.
that you desire for yourself?" Because I did a lot of my strategic plan was to be doing. I did some corporate training and I did some corporate workshops. But my strategic plan was to like get into these leaders and executives on the one-on-ones and kind of visualize for not only necessarily for my business, but for them as well as leaders, as people. And a lot of them could not answer that question for me, or a lot of them had the answer of, you know what, I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that because they was being vulnerable about it, and they were explaining to me a flaw of area that they hadn't thought about, which was perfect for me because it gave me some leverage and some work to delve into. But I think in the opportunities that we have, I don't think that we really structure that. Everything is structured, and regardless of what I'm understanding, people to say that their purpose is, when I'm dwelling down the things that I really think is purpose, a lot of times it comes up. I want to do this because I really want the financial part of this, or I really want, and it's not said like I'm just doing this because I need money, right? But I'm
Mm-hmm.
running into a lot of people when I'm looking at their structure and I'm kind of like nitpicking, so to speak, at things that you really should have an answer for if it's a purpose behind what you're doing. I'm
Right.
finding no answer except for I just want to do this because I'm not really making no money. I don't desire to do it. Well, you could have stayed in corporate for that and just worked on somebody's job and you'd have had a check every week or every 2 weeks after they
But
got
could
paid.
they? But could they really? Because some people they jumping into this arena for business because
Right.
they
Let's
they
touch on
can't
that.
they can't play well with with others.
Oh,
Like
not the
real talk.
playground.
Real talk. They can't play well with others. So they figure, oh, if I have my own company, my own business, and I can call my own shots, but then you still doing the same drama, right? You still doing the same mess up, and you're not playing well with others. You're not playing well with your customers. You're not playing well with people you hire to be part of your team. You don't even play well with your collaborators.
Mm.
So it's not really about, oh, let me find my own business so I don't have to listen to other people. You need to find some soft skills,
Oh,
right? You need to learn how
oh.
to talk to people.
It's
You
cold
need
in
to learn
Jersey.
you need to learn how to work with people. And if you can't do that in a corporate setting, you're going to have a lot of problems doing it on your own business in your own setting, because now you're creating this little silo and this
Mm-hmm.
little area, this little world where you are sitting there creating a lot of bad vibes. And now, because you claim that this is your business, nobody can tell you anything, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now we have a bigger problem because
Oh, the ego.
in corporate, yeah, your ego gets checked a lot in corporate.
Mm-hmm.
In corporate, people are able to say, well, I don't like how you talking to me, and they go to your boss, or
Mm-hmm.
they go to the owner, they go somewhere else. So if you can't check your behavior in a corporate setting, because you got to play well with other people in other people's backyards.
Yeah, that's
Now
the
you
truth.
now you have your own home, you got your own backyard, but you forgot you got neighbors. Right? So you
Yes.
sitting here doing your own thing, but you're damaging relationships regardless, because you never knew and you never learned how to check your behavior and how to
Mm-hmm.
check yourself. So that's all part of how are you being intentionally successful, and your
Mm-hmm.
limiting beliefs and your problems. And if your problem is your behavior, your problem is
Mm-hmm.
how can you really work with others, then you're messing up. So you need to take those issues, flip them, learn from them, and then start to build properly.
Absolutely. And now that you shifted that, you see, y'all notice how we shifted that to that. When you got those shifted, I've heard this like I think every year there are some. Hey, Ali, appreciate you joining us, man, from Africa.
Come
Appreciate it.
on. We got a lot
Global,
of
we
nice folks up
worldwide, we
in here. Come on
worldwide, we
in. Come on
worldwide.
in.
Yes, 2022. I love it. Let's make 22 the year of I will. I love that,
Yes,
Lavina.
yes,
That is
yes,
it. Let's get this can't out. Let's get this can't mentality out of our minds. Let's be intentional. And the word intention means you're doing it with a purpose, right?
yes.
I'm intentionally doing this because I'm looking to achieve an outcome, and this is where we're doing it and where we're thinking about for year 2022. I had said toward the actually about the middle part of 2021 that I wanted 2022 to be a year of collaboration, right?
Mm-hmm.
When
Mm-hmm.
I said that, I made the reference of ordinary people doing extraordinary things together. And that was my outliner of that. Because a lot of times when we think about collabs, especially from a musical standpoint, we think about maybe one of greatest R&B singers to get one of the greatest rappers to like do a few bars on the album, right? And this is this
Right.
bad collaboration. But these are from two totally different entities bringing, I mean, not entities, but celebrities bringing together something on the album. It's pretty much almost in your mind saying, okay, well, that fits. I figured somebody would have done something like that, right? The
Right.
important thing that I wanted to talk about with the collaboration was that we're just getting ordinary people. We're just getting people that's ordinarily on their own fame and fortune, so to speak, and just
Mm-hmm.
bringing that together, and we're making some extraordinary things happen, something that impacts others. And this is how we're going to change the limiting beliefs, because when we're shifting that atmosphere of the haves and the have-nots, therein lies we open up everybody to believe that they can be something. And it's something simple. I think King probably did it the best. Well, understanding how you can take a mindset and shift a nation. And this is what we have to do as business entrepreneurs, as in this realm that we're in, and how COVID is affecting our everyday actions. We have to shift what our beliefs are, and that's not changing your core foundation or your values. It's changing how you interact with those values. Because a lot of times we put those values out there and we've forgotten them. You know it, corporate, right? Mission statement on
Mm-hmm.
the wall in the receptions area, the rotunda. They got what my vision was when the company was built in 17, 18, 19, whatever it was, right? And then you
Right.
go, when you walk past that, and no one is doing that vision or mission anymore. We've got to get back to the facts and the point of like we're shifting that. What was my problem last year? How did I flip that? Yeah, what was some of the things? Put it in the comments. We want to check. We want this to be a show where we're checking. What were some of the things that you ran into an issue with last year that
Hmm.
you're definitely going to be intentional about this year? How are you going to move
Man.
forward with that? What are your processes with that? What does that look like? And are you even vulnerable enough to admit to yourself, yeah, you know what? I jumped into this entrepreneur arena. I had no idea what I was doing. It's okay if you didn't. I had a talk to a person last week. They started 6 businesses and failed in all 6, and they starting again. Well, they started again toward the end of. And me, my first thing was like, man, 6. Like Yeah, that's I mean
But
unfair.
six business, because people always say, "Oh, I'm a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
always running businesses."
I thought
But
about
are you
false.
running them into the ground, or are they like successful, and then you just decided, "Oh, my passion
Yeah,
shifted, so let me shift and make another successful business."
you
I
make a
think
good
that's
point.
another thing too. When people always claiming they do so much, they do so many amazing things. I'm like, well, you running like 8 businesses, and why 8 though? Like, is it 8 consecutive? Do they fall in line with each other? Is it like a passion project that you're doing? I think a lot we need to start asking those questions too when we find in these gurus
Yeah,
who are serial entrepreneurs. Like, because Trump people can say runs a ton of business, but homeboy running
oh man,
into the ground too, right? Because I never seen a
yeah,
lot of people who really file for bankruptcy to
yeah.
kind of get a
Be
clean slate and let's start
be
over,
successful, right? I think
right?
what he did teach me is like if I get in trouble, right? Let me go start for bankruptcy. Let me go. When you
But
get that mixed feeling of that.
you're not gonna
No,
come
they
out of
ain't
this
gonna give
that
me
way.
no
What you
dollar. They'll be
say?
calling, talking about, let's take your house, let's take your home.
Come on now.
Uh, but that's really it. And I said, and that was the kind of thought process I had behind it, right? I was like, okay, six. I didn't think of it negatively, but I thought of it more inquisitively. Okay, if you started six, was there a lesson learned in changing from those six? And you hit it on the head. They kind of took me through that, and I think their process of thinking was the same as mine. I've been this in these businesses, so now I can kind of explain to you why the shifts was, and I was glad that they did. I didn't take anything personal away from the
Mm-hmm.
relationship we had because we have a great relationship, but I never knew that part of them. And I just saw them as this successful business owner and just doing those things, but they were vulnerable enough to come out of pocket like, yo, I started six businesses and I did some terrible things in all six. And like
Mm.
I learned some things. So with this, so I say, so sometimes it's a collaboration. Like someone says temp jobs, and we've been on them 2 or 3 months, and we didn't get hired, we didn't get the full assignment, whatever it is, and they chose to go with someone else. But I always only, and I've been on quite a few temp jobs. What I always did was learn everything I could. I volunteered for everything in that assignment, whether it was a
Right.
2 day, a 3 day, a week, a 2 week. What you need help with? What can I learn? What can I do? So if I was only there a month, I took a way more than a month worth of work knowledge from that place. And I think this is what they were telling me. In these six businesses, I have fortified myself so much that number seven is going to be my pride and joy. And I'm going to know what to
Mhm.
pour into it intentionally, what not to pour into it, who to have around me. Because I think we missed that mark in 2021.
Mm.
Who was in our camp? Who was setting up shop with us? Who was pretending to be there when the lights went out, right? So it's a lot of things that we have to do intentionally to be successful in 2022.
Exactly, exactly. And
Yes.
it's I'm loving I'm loving Cass. He's like, it's about having flexible policies. Move away from the Moses approach of the Ten
Yes,
Commandments
Cash.
set in stone. Yes, because you
Oh, I'm
can't
talking
be
about that.
flexible. You can't be flexible, and everything is like, oh nope, this is how we always done it. We've been doing this for years. Even in corporate life, how many times you've seen people get tossed out like old salad
Big time.
because corporate's like, well, we shifting. If you don't want to shift, that's cool, but
See
you out.
ya.
You out.
See ya.
So you don't want that for yourself in your personal life too. I had people
Mhm.
for Christmas come out of the woodworks. How Merry Christmas. I'm like, who is this? Like, who are you again? Like, hold on. Cause people don't know. When I'm done with you, I don't do a whole big show. I just put do not answer next to your name.
Oh,
And I keep it
wow.
in there because I don't like deleting phone numbers and then I don't know who's calling me because then I just don't pick up, period. But then I like to see a lot of
Intentional.
I like to see when folks come out of the woodworks,
Mm.
and that was it. I had a next show up, and I'm like, yeah, not responding, and I had to be really intentional about it because normally I'd be like, I don't want to be mean, let me not be rude, but like, no, you rude because you showed up out of thin air on my phone. Talking about Merry Christmas. I'm like, I'm not getting into that. Talking about let's have dinner. No, we won't be having dinner.
Oh,
But I'm not gonna
not
tell
the
you
dinner.
that. I'm gonna let Jesus work that thought into your brain cell when you see I did not respond.
Ooh.
There you go today. But yeah,
Did we
Merry
get something
Christmas.
intentionally started today?
Merry
It's
Christmas. So I shifted
oh
that
man.
limiting belief that I have to
Oh
respond to
wow.
somebody.
Wow.
Nope. No, I don't. 2022, I don't have to respond
Yeah.
to nobody that has
Yeah.
made me feel less than, had made me struggle with my own self when I
Hmm.
knew I came into this relationship strong. Now I'm
Hmm.
leaving broken. Nah, we ain't doing that, bruh. Have a good
Yeah.
night,
And,
though.
and that's a, and getting to the business sense of this, since it's we're not a personal relationship coach over here.
Mm.
Get to the business
But no,
side.
it's all relationships though.
No,
It's
I
all
got you.
relationships because that was an epitome when I was in
Yeah.
there. I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And it was
Hmm.
like an epitome because if I didn't stop that foolishness from happening in a personal sense, a lot of that was trickling into business. Because then I
Yeah.
couldn't say no to people. I wasn't responding the way I needed to respond. Like me being
Hmm.
and that was coming from that person. I would tell that person like, "Yo, I think you did that wrong," and it would be a whole fight. And I don't text fight. I don't type out arguments. I don't write arguments out. I
It's
say
too
something to
much.
your face and I'm out. Because even when it comes to phone calls, I don't do that because nowadays we're in the world of recording, so everybody recording folks privately, playing your joint on
Mm.
on all kinds of weird. They
Yeah.
weird folks, weird in these streets right now,
I
right?
don't
So
take calls. I don't take.
yeah, so folks are weird in these streets. So what I do, if I don't see you in your face, I don't really discuss stuff with you. I just keep it real short and I'm out. So to have somebody really break down your mental to the point you second guessing, should I say no? Should I say yes? Like what's happening? That had to stop. So
Yeah.
because and I'm saying it from personal or business, if somebody's making you doubt yourself and feel less than, you need to get out of that relationship. That relationship needs to be in the streets, in the garbage, ready for
In the
takeout.
garden.
That's where
Toss
that
out
needs to
like an
be.
old salad.
Oh,
I like
salad.
that. When the greens start getting brown, it's time to toss
Yes.
that salad up out of
Yes.
here. Yes, JD, that is priceless.
That
And
needs to
and,
be
and
all the way in the street. So that's what you need to be doing. When you a lot of times we have limiting beliefs because somebody else has planted those seeds of doubt
yes, I was going to
in
say
your
that. Yeah.
life. Not just in your mind, in
Mhm.
your life. You can't move forward because you're doubting yourself. Every step you
Mhm.
make, somebody's like, should that be? Man, when I did my site over, I was not hearing nothing but me.
She
Not a
wasn't hearing
word but
nothing.
me.
I don't even think she
Not a
answered my calls.
word but me because it was my time right now. And I was like, look,
Oh man.
it's about to be 22 years in April. I'm not doing the game like I just started life. I didn't just start breathing
Yeah.
yesterday. So I'm gonna need folks
No.
to really get it together, right? Get it together. And that's what I do with my clients too. I tell them the same thing. This is your business. If you don't understand what you want from here, and that goes back to what we talked about the first time. If you can't figure out what your purpose and your desire is in your life and your business, how can somebody else come in and help you? And if you're not
Mhm.
shifting your beliefs, those limiting beliefs that somebody else has planted, even if you need to get help, you need a
Mhm.
vulnerability coach. That's called right there,
Oh, right here. Come and
right?
talk about
You
it.
need you need to tap into that vulnerability space to understand why are you fighting so hard to be
Mhm.
vulnerable? Why are you fighting so hard to be heard? Then you need to figure that out. Figure it out quick so you can flip that. You don't need to
And
run away from fear.
that's
You
it.
need to address it head on and use that because sometimes fear will get you to the places you need to be. Because for me, I didn't
Mhm.
want to be on camera because I was nervous, like, trolls, and because I don't do well with aggression. I don't do well with passive aggressiveness. I don't. I'm real aggressive and I go straight head
Yes.
on and I say what I need to say and I move on. I don't have to dislike you to be honest with you. And so you know what? Your attitude sucks. Let's move on. Address it and let's move on. Right? You my people.
Yes.
I could do that. And one of my ace boo coos, Amelia. Me and Amelia, if you were to come on and see how Amelia and I interact sometimes, folks would think we don't like each other. But it's not the case. We can come at each other and come for love, right?
That's
And
it.
that's
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 it.
what you that's what you get when you cultivate relationships that are based on facts, truth, and intentional emotions. And I'm not an emotional person. I don't get all like teary eyed and all that. I don't do all of that. It's not because I can't. I just don't. That's just not me. I'm not wired that way.
We working on that
However,
vulnerability.
I'm hush up. However, I'm very tuned into how others might be feeling. So I try a lot of times when I'm in silence, I'm observing. That's a Taurian in me. I observe a lot. People might think, oh, I'm aloof. I'm aloof. I'm not paying no mind. No, no, I'm observing, but I don't got to speak on everything.
Mhm.
I don't have to speak on everything. So you have to understand what is your intention in 2022 and stick to them. Stand strong by them. If you know that's your passion, stand by it because somebody's going to help you get through that passion. Somebody's going to help you.
True. So look, y'all know whose section that was, right? Because you know whose segment that was, right? So I want y'all come at me later, be like, Carl, man, we ain't hear what you say about the beliefs, homie. She said it all, and she said it, and I'm 100% behind it because she covered a lot of things that I couldn't have covered better myself if I said it. Just that because it's about shifting. Yes, Amelia, me and Charlie, we have some real ones too. I always related our relationship as Pam and Martin. Love each other, but we gonna tell each other the truth. I ain't gonna let nobody else dog out. I mean, I say what I want to, big sister, little sister kind of thing. So this is how we roll. And the truth is, this is what really has cultivated our relationship. So because we just been truthful and honest with each other. And this is what I really try to do in coaching and training. Just if you be truthful and honest with each other, with people that you're
Mm-hmm.
dealing with, and being vulnerable in places and areas that it fits in. I mean, the dramaticness of that relationship, of that building, the confidence in you. And I think I put a post out the other day when I was just highlighting some points of what the vulnerability brings. It brings about that confidence and that authenticity and in who you are. That shifts the limiting beliefs because if I'm at a place of where I can understand where I am, what I have to give, what I know the value I have, and I don't
Yep.
have to listen to the naysayers. A lot of times we live our life on naysayers. That's why they're
Mm-hmm.
naysayers because they're
Naysayers who
telling
don't
you
do nothing.
absolutely. So we give all of this power that we should be encompassing ourselves to other people, and we put that on us as ceilings. Oh yeah, because Johnny, who was my manager 7 years ago, said I don't know how to do Excel. So now for the next 7 years, you're not going to try to get better at Excel, right? Because Johnny
Yep.
said it, right? And he was your manager 7 years ago. And now look how ludicrous that sounds, right? But the truth of the matter is, a lot of people carry this every day. They have letting people tell
Mm-hmm.
them things in their lives along the way, even from mom and dad, all the way up to husband and spouse, wife or spouse, or however it is, partner, however it
Mm-hmm.
is, on up to job, manager, supervisor. They've
Yes.
carried this all their lives, and they don't have the confidence and understanding that they are better than that. And this is what the
Mm-hmm.
limiting beliefs are. Because a lot of people's this is kind of like I was going to say it before we started. This is kind of like the catch thing that people say, because every year it's a word, every year it's a phrase. Somebody catching that on and firing it up. Yeah, let's
Mm-hmm.
get these limited beliefs. I'm a limited belief coach, and yo. This is what people been. Ain't no shade on nobody. I just want to make that plain. But I'm just saying, when you bring out these things and people don't get an understanding of limiting beliefs is not something that just popped up. You have been, if
Mm-hmm.
you're in that capacity, you have been living that your entire life in some form or fashion. And until you overcome that, there's nothing for you that's going to be given to you. You're going to have to bust through that glass ceiling and say, no more. Because oh man, I
Yes.
like that. No, pay attention to no criticism from the cheap sheets. I'm telling you,
Come on now.
you all up in the bleacher trying to tell me
And
I
left
got a
your
broke jump
binoculars
shot.
at home. You left your
Yeah,
binoculars at home. That's why you don't know what's
can't,
going on in the game.
can't even see my number on the back of my jersey, but you try to tell me I suck. I'm in the NBA, right? I'm making dollars, and you up there in the nosebleed. So tell me how
That
that
never
go. But
that just as quick side note, and then we're gonna get to number three. You're gonna wrap up and we're gonna get to number three. However,
yeah,
I never understood that. That's why I don't really watch sports. I don't really fanatics. I don't talk to sports fanatics. I just tune y'all all the way out. Why do I
oh
tune y'all out?
wow, wow.
Because a lot of times it feels like the majority of y'all never even played the sport, but y'all
I
real
talk about
mouthy.
it,
Y'all real
real
mouthy from
mouthy.
the sidelines.
Want to
You
step in
real
people's
mouthy.
face, you know what I mean?
You real
Disrespect people.
mouthy disrespectful, real mouthy from the sidelines, talking about, oh, y'all getting all this money, but the money technically didn't come out your pocket. Technically, if you really think
No.
about it, the money
Yeah.
didn't come out your pockets because you come to the game every 4 years or whatever that may look like.
That's what I'm
But
saying. Even if
it's
you
like
got a
real mouthy, and then people putting their bodies on the line to play these sports, right? So a lot of times, especially I forgot homegirl's name, but she told a lot of the basketball players at one time just dribble. So I'm
yeah,
just
just shut
like,
up and
wow,
dribble.
that's mad
Yeah, yeah,
disrespectful. So this
yeah,
why I don't even get into sports, because if I had
yeah.
to see and really think, because that's my problem. I think too much. To see a bunch of grown men running around, no matter what the sport is, either you sliding through ice or you running on a field, whatever that looks like. But folks are being real disrespectful from the sidelines. I can't even do it, child. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't
Yes,
do it. But
yes.
go ahead, wrap on up. Wrap
No,
yourself up.
that
My
I can't wrap that up. Look, I played two sports in high school and ran track. Right, I didn't really consider track a sport because I was just fast. So I didn't really take that seriously. I just was something to do to stay out the streets in the hoods of Chicago. But
bad.
people always had an issue, a problem with talking about sports. And though I never got to know levels as professional, I know what it takes to be an athlete on the levels that I played. And it's a lot of work. Just like I wouldn't come to a CEO who's run a business successfully for a lot of years, sit up in the office and try to tell them how to run that business, right? Because it
But people
takes a
do.
lot. And it's the complaining, but those are the ones that is as part of that limited belief system. You had a fat
Mhm.
boy on the side who can't do nothing but chase that donut and them nachos at halftime, but he want to
But
talk about the NBA player on the court that may have missed a few free throws.
a
This
lot of
is how
times they
life
not even
is.
a lot of time they not even overweight. They just real mouthy. They not coordinated enough to even play themselves. It's a
Yes,
lot. It's a lot. But
it's
let's
a lot.
move on.
This
Let's
is yeah.
move
This
on,
what
because
we
by the
shifting
time
our
we
beliefs now.
done, by the time we done, we already flipped the limiting beliefs.
That's
We just
it.
tossed that out the door, and we
We
started to
got it
make
out.
that work for us. So now
Yes,
what you need to be doing is clarifying what the process and the action items are. So you got to
absolutely.
understand, yeah, you have these big goals, but what does that look like when you have to put the work in? And if you have to hire somebody, what does that look like? So that's where you have to really understand what is the process. And the part of that, for me, that's where the strategy comes in with my clients. If you want a website up in 2 weeks, what's that process looking like? You didn't even think about that. You just thought you just throw out some thoughts and then it just magically appears. No, that's not
Magically
that's not a
delicious.
process. That's not a process. So you have to understand, for you to run a business, for you to get your health right, for you to get your home, for you to get a wedding, you don't even have a man yet or a woman, but you want to get
Wow.
married in 2022. You have to understand, what is this process looking like? People put goals out like they tossing coins into a wishing fountain. That's not how this is going to work. 2022 success is not going to be intentional if you don't put that work in. So figure out what is the process for whatever the goals are in your life that you have established. What does that goal look like? And then what's the actual process? What's the action items that have to be done, either by you, or you putting down some money, or you creating a realistic barter with people to have them help you out? Because a lot of times that's a problem too, right? We bring people into our dreams and our hopes, and then we don't clarify what it is that we need to do for each other.
And you definitely hit that on the head in a lot of ways a lot of things that they go to. And I'm glad we use the term process because I'm a keen individual as far as words and definitions and meanings. And sometimes I take that into consideration that others are on that level. And when I say level, it's not that I'm better or higher or whatever. It's just that my in-depthness of understand words and meaning, I think you should understand them also. And I wouldn't even use the term accused, but I have been talked to say, yeah, I didn't understand that that's what you meant with that, right? Because I take it for granted that you understand it. But I didn't want to use strategy. It was purposely that a process. Because when you talk strategy with people have been hearing the term strategy for years and don't really get a grasp of what strategy is, right? When you think about the term strategy, because you hear it all in coaches, consultants, anybody that's got business. Did you put your strategy there? What is a strategy? Explain a strategy to me. You've heard it in corporate, our strategy for this, our strategy session. Like, what are we going through with this? I wanted to clarify the process in that, because process gives you a mental note of saying there's a one, two, three, four steps to doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That takes away the mindset of I got to create this big elaborateness, because we use the term strategy as big broad picture of what we got
Right.
to do, or what we had to have, or what it has to encompass. But the process gives you a more minuteness of saying, okay, first step to doing this, knowing my purpose. Second step is, how about keeping a list of things that I want to check off? How about having a checklist is for the processes that's going to make me successful? How about going back and intentionally making sure that I'm in alignment with that? To me, that's a strategy. That's what, but
Mm-hmm.
when you clarify the process, and what are the action steps needed to take on this? Because I'm a writer, I write things down. So if I, everything to me is a list, everything from
Right.
everything. You could be like, yo, man, you do a list for that. All you gotta do is go here and go there. No, it's a list to me because I'm fundamentally processing the process, right? Yeah,
Right.
I said them back to back. It ain't no double negatives. I'm processing the process because I'm understanding that, okay, for me to get to step two, I've had to have completed step one. And this is where you're clarifying that at. And in order to clarify, I have to know that this is the action that I need to take. When you got your
True.
business, and I hate that they've gotten away from that so much in this day. And I know a lot of people may say it's old school, but we aren't creating business plans when we're doing these businesses. We're not, we don't have to go to the banks anymore and show anybody what our outlook is or based upon what we're going to do. Now I can get a website created. I can go to Stripe or whatever the payment things is. I can charge for a service and connect with someone and do it like that. We've kind of like left out some steps that it takes. That's why we're not clear on purpose. That's why we're not clear on strategies. That's why we're not
Come
clear on
on.
clarification processes, because we've got into the TikTok realm. And I don't mean that against
Mm-hmm.
TikTok. I'm just saying how easy they've made it for you to jump in, not really know nothing, and get
Uh-huh.
paid for it. And this is where we're failing as business owners. And this is something that we have to understand. If you put them lists and say, when I did a project, a business plan project before I started my business, right? I said, this is what it is. I put a business plan. I put it together. I even submitted it to my bank, Bank of America, for a process. Because it's, and the lady said to me, this is the thinking of where we are. She's like, I haven't seen anybody come here with a business plan in quite a few years. I was like, wow. I was like,
No
really?
business hand, no business plan, but your hand is out. Like,
Yeah.
playing
She's
today.
like, this is really like, she's like, and she was an older banker, so I could give away that age. She was an older banker. She'd been in banking a minute. And she was like, this is phenomenal that people still do this. She was like, I had no idea. She's like, because we get propositions for loans, and people come in with, okay, this is my credit score. Can I get a loan? And she was like, well, what's the purpose of the loan? Nothing to the finance part of that, but it's amazing that we've missed that process, because now everybody can just go on Instagram, make a page, sell a PDF, and say they got some knowledge. They can take
But
that on there. Go
let's just still be real clear because
ooh,
you
clarifying.
no be clarifying, right? But you said something that's key. People think that they can just jump on social media, that's all you need, and then boom, we here. But yeah,
Started from the
no,
bottom.
that's
Now
not
we
even
here.
that's not even how it works when you want to get trademarked, right? Because when you
Oh
want to get
wow,
trademarked, what's the first thing they tell you is we need
what you been
proof
doing?
that you're using this, and social media don't count.
No, not in
It
trademarks, guys.
don't. And so it's like you need to figure out what is the process of you being a real business first of all. And yes, we all have knowledge. We all can, and that's another thing that you keep hearing people say for a couple of years now. Oh, you know something, just sell what you know. Sell what you know. Yeah, but you still need a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
So you can call it whatever you want. Call it a process, call it a strategy, call it a game plan, call whatever you want. You need it. Because
Mm-hmm.
now, after you reach a certain plateau in your business, you want to start asking people to invest in you, either as a client or a
Yes,
actual investor.
a
You can't go to an
sponsor.
investor because you see those people. I don't know how long. Shark Tank has been on, but Shark Tank was a spinoff from another show from overseas. But they all
Hmm.
said the same thing. You have these people who come in, say, "Oh, I've been working doing this business all my life," but you got no numbers because that's the first thing they asking you, right? Oh, this
What's
looks
the
great.
figures?
Oh, thank you. So what's the numbers? What's the numbers? How much you making? What's the numbers? How much is it? What's the cost to create this?
I got a
Okay,
million
so that makes
followers.
out so and you see people stumbling and fumbling and oh well, my grandma said it was awesome and I'm here today and wait. So you didn't even sell this yet? Your granny didn't even buy it? Like what you saying today?
Oh,
So it's about becoming realistic with your stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, you making your plans, but you actually have to have a strategy, have a game plan set up, understand what the purpose of this is, have a mission. What's the ultimate vision that you want for this business? What's
Yes.
the vision you want for your life? People creating right now. There's like hundreds and thousands of vision board parties going on right now.
Oh my God. Yes.
Vision board parties going on right now with no purpose.
I was invited to a couple. I said I was
People,
busy.
people getting their photos together either digitally or from magazines or wherever they want to find them. Putting together these vision boards with no purpose
No.
because they just want to say, "Oh, I went to my vision board party." Yeah, and like if
What's the
you
vision?
went you went to your vision board party again, how many times have you looked back and said, "Oh, these all came through for me?" Because at the end of the day, you still need to plan this out. Shift those limiting beliefs, get your process under control and understanding what it is, get that clarifying of it, and then you got to do what next? You got to actually reinforce
Yes.
what these intentions are each and every day. You got to live and breathe your purpose, live and breathe what it is you want. And make it happen. Sometimes you see people pop up out of nowhere. Oh, they just got a brand new job. They didn't just get a brand new job. Most jobs don't just fall out the sky. They actually put some work in there, but they
Yes.
didn't tell you. A lot of times people do so much moving and shaking behind the scenes, which I love to do.
Yeah.
Because why? By the time you come out and you sitting there like, yeah, okay, boom, here I am. People like, oh snap, what? That was the work I was doing in the back. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I wasn't tap dancing on camera all day. I was doing some work in the back too. That because
Yes. 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 And that
because
wasn't a
people
shot
think
at
that they
me.
don't see you. They don't see you struggling. They don't. You didn't
Mhm.
put no photos of you sweating and crying in the middle of the night. You didn't. You didn't jump on social media in tears and stuff. Like no, you don't have to. Every single path, every single step that you're doing to reach your vision does not always have to be broadcast. And I'll go back to the revolution will not be televised.
Won't be.
Where did that go? Where did that go, conversation go?
Now
That
they televising
conversation was
everything.
important. And why was that conversation important? Because they were making major moves that people did not need to know about until they were ready to be revealed.
Mhm. And that's the key thing that you said, and I'm glad you brought that in because I love Black history anyway. It won't be televised. It wasn't needed to be televised, and that goes as well with you. My grandmother told me something a long time ago, and I live by a lot of these adages, and I'm sure a lot of people do, where they've grandparents and some have said things to them that kind of stuck to them like glue. And my grandmother used to be like, "Baby, don't tell everybody everything because everybody ain't for you, and everybody's not pulling for you." So in essence,
That part.
that's that Mississippi. She missed
They
out on
they
quite a few
they come for
words.
the shipwreck.
Yeah. I mean, she told me that, and for the longest, it took a few things to happen to me to realize the gravity of what she was saying. Because a lot of times when you have
Mhm.
these older ones in your life, they spit these things to you, and some of the stuff we take is holy grail, and we just reconstruct our whole lives on, and some of it we take, oh, this is grandma talking, right? But
Right.
I've come to know that doing living life and a lot of the ups and downs and things that I've been in through, was like, yo, they was on to something. And yes, my grandmother
Mhm.
graduated from 8th grade. She didn't go to no college, no high school. She had the life skills, homie. And she had the experiences from the depressions and those kind of times where we couldn't even think of ourselves living in those times. Now, I know me, myself, some of the stuff she told me, I was like, whoa, what? What? They called you what? No, I don't think
Mhm.
I would have made it. But see, that was the grit that we're missing in this day and time that they have. And she used to tell me that. She's like, don't tell everybody everything concerning you. She's like, because everybody's not pulling for you. And that didn't make a lot of sense then. But when I started seeing the reactions of certain ones when I was doing certain things, I was like, that's what she's talking about. That's
Mhm.
it. That's why. So you have to reinforce those things to yourself daily. Be intentional
Right.
about those things that you set up as a process daily. Yes. Do you want to put out wins? You do if you're a business owner because people like to see wins. Wins build confidence in those that's going to
Yes.
believe in you. They build confidence in you. You building confidence with wins. It's all a part of work. So a track runner is
Mhm.
not going to keep on racing if they don't eventually come across the finish line first. Because eventually it's going to wear down them and they're like, I don't want to do this because I'm never winning. But the
Right.
process is we're going to keep on going in this business. 2022 is going to bring a lot of things to a lot of people. And it's going to be how you come out on the other side that's going to determine are you here to stay. Are you going to put these processes in? If they're not our four ways, find some that works for you because this
Mhm.
is not the blue. This is not what we're sharing with you. So find something that works with you. But if you're reinforcing these intentions that you set up every day and through, that's the key word.
Yeah.
That's the what they call that word composition that pulls the sentences together. Yeah, I'll give y'all English class later on. Through action steps. That's how you reinforcing it through action. Yeah. So like I'm going to reinforce my Wi-Fi this year through action. I thought I put that in there. I thought look, I
Cause,
can't do Verizon. Verizon do what it
because you
do.
and Verizon need to be intentional about getting your Jersey Wi-Fi together.
Oh
That's
man,
what y'all
oh
need to
man,
be doing over there. But
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
But yo,
Oh
it's
man,
it's just I just wanted to do a quick recap on
yes,
these things because we talked about identifying what your purpose and your desire for your business and your life is. You want to make sure
yes,
that you have that because once you understand that, then you can easily start to understand what the where these limiting beliefs that you have are coming from
hmm,
and start shifting them, flip those, use
absolutely,
those to make you better, use those to get you to do what you want to do. And then you start to understand, okay, what processes do I need to have in place? Or what do I need to create? Maybe you have a process, but it's all over the place. It looks janky. It's jacked up. It's not looking right. So you need to understand, okay, these are the action steps I need to make. This is the process that goes along with those action steps. Let me bring somebody in. Maybe somebody else is better at this than me. It's okay to do that too. It's
yeah,
okay to do that. And then start to understand, all right, every single day, how am I going to reinforce my intentions and what actions am I going to take every single day? Because that's another thing that we have. People flipping so much throughout the year because they're like, oh, this didn't work. But you literally only did it a month or you did it a week. Sometimes the process takes a while. Like
yes,
with Carl and I, just to do a show, that's a process in itself.
yeah,
But we just kept doing it. We kept at it. And we're like, you know, it's slow, it's coming through. But before we knew it, a lot of people saw us. They
hmm,
knew what we were doing. They've been watching us, and we didn't even know. Cause right,
yeah,
that's the power of LinkedIn. Sometimes people don't even say that they are. You see
no,
the numbers, but you're like, well, damn, who was it? And
yeah. They come
and
back and be like,
before
I
you
saw your
know it,
show the other day. I'm like, where
right.
were you
They start
was?
DMing and all that conversation start happening and we're the back end. So
Hmm.
so a lot of times you have to see that okay, the work that you are putting in is actually paying off, but sometimes it takes a while. Some processes just take longer than others. That's just what it is. No matter what people tell you, you can dance all day. But if the right people aren't seeing you dance, it don't even matter,
Mm-mm.
right? It don't even matter. If
No.
the right people don't see you pop locking, then you never gonna be on America's Got Talent. You can do everything you want to. You just not gonna be there because the right people not seeing you.
No,
But
they not see.
it's just a matter of understanding what is the process. Who do you need to be with? And that comes into for me when you're building with others, what community are you building? Are you building a community of people who just gonna watch? Or are you building
Mm,
a community of people who take action? And that was my intention last year, to be in a community and build a community of action takers. People that I do action, they do action. We may not be doing the same thing, but we have the
right.
same goal. And the goal is to make sure that we all rise to the top, right? Because
That's
there's
it.
room. Regardless of what
Yeah.
people tell you, that it doesn't have to be you or me. It can be you and me. And I think that that's been a powerful thing that I've started really moving towards and living openly, because I always believed that, but I was actually now starting to take action towards that, to say like, look, we all can do what we need to do. I see other web designers and developers who are good at their craft. I'm gonna
Yeah.
celebrate y'all. Why would I not? When there's so
Right.
many janky developers out there that I'm just like, ugh,
Yes. Check out Fiverr. Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to that.
stop the noise. Cause and let's not sleep. I never talk down on Fiverr. It's
Yes.
Fiverr's like any other job place. You find the best ones. But if you're
Hmm.
going for price point, then you're always going to be at the bottom.
Always.
You're always going to be at the
Always.
bottom. If you're looking
Always.
for the skill set, then Fiverr may be out of your reach, because Fiverr may
Hmm.
not be they might not be doing the level that you need them to do.
That you
And it's
need
not
them to.
and maybe it's not because they can't, but at that price point they won't.
They won't, and they
They
and they
won't.
and they will tell you, and they will tell you that they want. And I think this is really a great
That's where the
ending to
upsells
that.
come in and everybody gets sticker shock like, woo.
Right, absolutely. Because I look at it as even my services and tweaking them this year, and we were talking about that before the show.
Mhm.
I'm going to stop selling myself short, because yes, we are selling knowledge, but we also selling knowledge in action, and that's a big difference from me selling you what's up here. I'm selling
Mhm.
you my knowledge through what's up here, through what I've done in here and what I produce in here. And no, does it always equate to numbers, a million followers or whatever? No, it doesn't. But that doesn't change what work I put in. I think I made a post maybe a little bit 2021. I'm gonna go find that and repost that. I say when I think I made the post when someone looked at my knowledge and they looked at it
Mhm.
and they talked about my price. I said I didn't give you the price based upon the 15 minutes we sat on that strategy session. I gave you
Mm.
my price based upon the 30 years I put into doing what I'm doing. So this is what we have to understand as business. So stop shortchanging other people based upon what you think you should pay them for their services. I just want to get that disclaimer out there. Stop asking people to do these things for you if there's not nothing in place. Because I'm going to come back and revisit some things that were said to me, or maybe even I said, because it's a two-way street that it
Mhm.
wasn't clear about or things wasn't knowledgeable about, and say, no, I was out of pocket for that. I should have did this. I should have said that. We should have clarified this. Go back to those because you want to keep that and continue to build that relationship. So when you come to that point in place where those price points of what you have, people will feel comfortable with knowing that you are be able to deliver on those. And this is really what we want to get to be intentional, successful in 2022 and beyond. We want to be able
Yeah.
to come and drop down and say what we could do, when we could do, how we could do it. And I want to be able to do that for you. So come and join us for Real Talk. Yo, we've kicked the year off, guys. We have kicked it off live and in direct and in connect. We kicked it off. You see Charlene is just blowing it up with the beautiful graphics that she got, throwing it in there. You know
Like
what I mean?
what?
This is yeah, I know. I put a lot of bees in there, right? Yes, but we got it. We glad for you guys to be looking out. Please go and
Mhm.
book this year. We booking up. I think we're in mid March now, beginning of March. I think with people booking up. So
Beginning.
we're
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
yeah, beginning of March. So people is booked up. We're gonna have some exciting guests. We got some panels coming this year. We promised you that on 2021. We got some panels that's coming up. These we're gonna do quarterly panels. I think we got them spaced out like that, where you guys are gonna
Mhm.
get some information from some dynamic people, some of who we had on the show before, some of who we're yet to have on the show. Because they're going to be bringing their perspectives, and we're going to continually to keep the conversation real talk. Real talk wasn't just birth out of just the knowledge of what we have, but it's the birth out of us sharing knowledge among each other. Remember, collaboration is what my word is for 2022. So we're going to take ordinary people and do extraordinary things, and that's what we're doing here on Real Talk.
Yeah, and my words, I'm going to say words, is not just collaboration but action. We're going to take action. We're going to
Yeah,
the people that we networking with, we want to see action. We want to see y'all grow, do your thing, but we can't support you if we don't see you. I'm going to just tell you
that's
that
it. Yeah,
$1,000.
that's it.
So for me, it's the same thing with me. Y'all gonna see me more because I'm just like, a lot of the groundwork has been laid. So now I'm ready to
Yes,
come out.
we
So
stepping
if
into
that's
it.
Yeah, because if that's where you are, if you laying down the groundwork, let us know. Because there's a ton of people on LinkedIn. The community is real, where we're really trying to make sure that you have the knowledge, you have the information that you want, that you need. But let's be real, people not sharing stuff with you unless they see you taking action. They see you
True.
trying. It may not
True.
be perfect, but you're
Hmm.
trying. You're doing something. So I just want to put that there. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for the first show of the year. And we are going to, Carl said, there's a lot coming down the pipeline. We've been planning, we've been talking, and we cannot wait to start bringing
Yes,
y'all
we excited.
amazing guests. I can't even wait. Thursday, can we tell them? Just tell them. I think that's what we need
Yeah,
to
we
start
can do,
saying.
yeah, we can do Thursday. He stopped by earlier. He stopped by early in the show. We got this dude, man. This dude, like, I'm gonna let him tell you because I don't even want to misplace anything that he's doing by not communicating it. Because this guy is, if you haven't heard the name, go look at it and go Google it. I mean, go look him up on LinkedIn. This is his home, Gabe Leo. If you don't
Yes.
know him, you better ask somebody. We got him on Thursday, and he's going to talk to us about a whole gamut of information and stuff he's doing for the live stream community. Yes, that's us. That's us. That's us.
Hmm.
That's like live shows. He's doing things for the live stream community. And what I'm going to give you a tip on, get
Yep.
in right now on the ground floor because pretty soon he's going to be unaffordable. I'm going to tell you, that's how
I
much knowledge
feel
this
it.
dude
I
got.
feel it.
He's going to be unaffordable.
And
And that's,
he has such a great, amazing, giving heart.
he
Y'all need
does.
to get in there now.
Get
Get
in there
in,
now because
learn,
I'm
and,
soaking them up like a sponge.
because I think where he's helping a lot of us go to,
Hmm.
we gonna be right. We gonna be some of his first
Right there.
clients,
That's it. Yeah.
first customers to be like, oh, okay, boom, here you go. Let's go. Let's
Hmm.
do this because the knowledge he has, like Carl said, that
Hmm.
he shares with us, it's for action takers, and you see the residuals, you see how it improves what you're doing, the confidence it brings into you. This live stream community has been amazing to be a part of. So yeah,
Yeah.
come
Yes.
through on Thursday because it's about to
10
be
a.m.
real.
It's about to be real, real talk live. Thank you, everybody, for being my class. Go register. Go register. It is still not too late. We had a fun session on yesterday. VTP, the Vulnerability Transformation Program. Go check out my website, carlsonwatkins.com. Just so throw that in. Also, go check out Charlene. Her new website,
Yes.
off the chain. It just almost grabbed me through the screen. Said, get this, click here. So if you want to go there, get your websites together, y'all. You know what I mean? Go get your websites together. If your stuff is jacked, I'm gonna say this and we gonna close out. I know we've been talking. If your website is jacked, let me tell you, because mine was jacked, and I know what a jack website is. When it's jacked, I had Charlene to help me fix my website, right? And she didn't fix it, but now she didn't refix us. Now I want mine fix some more. So this is how this this is how this goes, right? So you got to get your stuff together where people could see your site. Because her site is just like, I looked at hers. I had both of ours side by side. I was like, that ain't right. Like my site, that ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right. I didn't know you was doing it. I like that ain't right. That ain't right. So you got to
See,
get your site
that's
up.
why I had to do what I had to do because folks was playing, folks was sleeping,
Yeah,
folks was sleeping. So like,
she put it down. So I started looking at sites. I was like, yo, that's, yeah, you're doing like Amazon. You're doing like okay. I see we balling. I see we balling.
like the struggle is real. So go to strugglesite.com, get your
Yes.
strategy. Because what I'm doing with all my clients is a strategy session. If you have not done a strategy session with me, we cannot be
Get on it.
together. We need, because you're going to get a strategy session one way or the other, and that's only to benefit you at the end of the day. And the strategy session allows you to actually understand where your website comes into play. So you are not leaving it in the dark, trying to dust it off for Black Friday, and you left it alone, lonely, cold.
Blowing on it.
You didn't even look at it. And just like your email list, you just left it all naked, laying to the side, like some old random. And now you want to
Yeah.
dust it all. Talking about work, girl, work.
Yeah.
And your website looking at you like, boo, you didn't even look at me all
Yeah,
year.
you
Like,
ain't even look at
word?
me.
Like,
You ain't even give me no
we ain't,
flowers. You ain't even
we
say
ain't
hello
even
to
doing
me.
that. So yeah.
Yeah, so
So
get with
that's
that.
what we doing. That's what we doing. So thank y'all for
Absolutely.
coming through. And we cannot wait to see y'all on Thursday because Gabe is about to bring the real.
About to bring the
And
real.
yeah, it's about to be that time. So peace, y'all. Deuces. And
Peace. See
hopefully I'll
y'all on the
be
other side.
in, I think I got one more week in this temporary apartment with this whole temporary layout and setup. Oh, thank you, Jesus. So I'll be back in my place next week. Thank you, Lord. Because somebody
New
gonna come and move
studio.
all this. Somebody moving all this furniture, honey. 'Cause it ain't gonna be me.
New studio. That's right.
Bye, y'all.
See you guys Thursday, guys.
Talk with Carl and Charlene. Real talk for the real world. Let's get it.